Hey, my name's Jay. Hey y'all, what's good, baby? I don't know how to open up videos anymore. I've actually spent quite a long time taking a break, but I'm back at it again, okay? It is your girl Jay, your favorite guidance coach, back at it again with another video. And the funny thing about this video is I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was like, you know what? I need some more sleep this time, okay? Because I usually wake up early, but I'm like, just today I need a little bit more. I went to sleep kind of late. So I went to sleep, I woke up again at 6. And while I was sleeping, I had this dream that I created this very video. So I'm like, you know what? That's a sign that I probably should create this video. So as soon as I woke up, I wrote down all the things I said in my dream, and here you go. This video literally is, you can see by the title, my top dating mistakes that I've made in my 20s. Now, usually on YouTube, when people make these type of videos, they're usually like about to turn 30 or like they're like 30 now, but child, I am not 30. I am still in my 20s. I mean, I'm about to be low-key, I think personally in the mid-20 range, because I'm about to be 24 soon. But I feel like you're not in the mid-20s until 25. I don't know, comment down below if I'm mid-20 yet. As soon as I turn 24, am I gonna be my mid-20s or what? Almost mid-20s energy. Regardless, I think in a lot of different ways, I've learned a lot of things over the years by dating people. Relationships are literally the biggest inner work that you'll ever do on yourself, because relationships are just reflections of who you are at the current moment. Everything in your life is the current representation of your vibration. Say it again with me. Everything in front of me is the current representation of your vibration. Thank you for whoever just purchased a product on my store at mysticmommy.com. Thank you, baby. Relationships are where you do the most inner work on yourself. So if you've been through some hella crazy relationships and you learned a lot of stuff, great. You just learned a lot about yourself, which is very, very interesting. But this video is going to be about my top dating mistakes. So all the things that I've learned and the wisdom that I've garnered thus far in relationships that I've been in. And I am a big fan of inner work. So I've processed a lot of these things. I've looked back, I've reflected. I'm a natural Mercury retrograder. I'm a natal Mercury retrograder, so we always thinking about the past, like, you know, reflecting about everything. This video is probably meant for me to put out there because I wouldn't have had a dream about it if not. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. If it helps you out, thumbs up this video, and yeah, let's get right into it. So number 1, saying yes when I meant no. Saying yes when I meant no. And this dives into a lot of different things. The thing that came up with me the most was sexually. A lot of the times we grew up in this, you know, society where women didn't really have rights at some point. Like girls, women, we did not have rights back in the day. So we still have this DNA within us that gets activated where we always don't truly say what we mean and express how we feel because we're trying to protect male egos, because we're trying to just be good little girls and stuff of that nature on a subconscious level. So there will be a couple times where maybe I like the guy and, you know, we're we're dating, whatever the case is, and he was like making moves on me and trying to get inside my pants. And even if we did do it before or whatever the case is, there could be a day or point where I just wasn't feeling it and I wasn't quite into the sex and I didn't really want to do it that day. And then I just kind of said yes anyway. And after the fact, I kind of regretted it because I was like, I didn't really want to do this and I felt used and abused, you know, in a certain level. And I had that happen a couple times and I knew that it was kind of abusive to my womb. And I really realized that as women, we had to step back into our truths and honoring our yes and also equally honoring our no's. Don't do anything that you don't want to do. If it's not a full F yes, don't do it. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. This is your body. This is your temple. And if you're in situations, sex or not, just in situations where it's not a full yes and it's a bunch of shoulds, I should do this, I should do that, I should do this, but it's not something you want to do. No, it's okay to say no respectfully and just in your energy, unless somebody is completely crossing your boundaries. Then you can use it with a little vibrato in your voice. It's okay to say no and own your voice, own your yes, honor your no, and really feel into that, right? You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. That's the first thing I learned. And I made that mistake by saying yes and then feeling bad about it afterwards and feeling just not good and feeling just used, and it wasn't a good feeling for me. Whether somebody wanted to go somewhere with me and I don't want to go, I didn't feel like going out. Number 2, Dating for potential and not reality. Dating for the idea of what somebody could be instead of not focusing on the reality. Ooh, my Venus opposing Neptune head ass did this so many times, girl. Let me tell you. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. You have to accept people for who they are currently. I know a lot of the times as women, we are nurturers. We want to nurture the potential out of somebody. We almost have this mindset where we want to mother people, and that's not it. These men are not your children. You don't have to raise a man, okay? Now you can guide and you can still be a nurturer and stuff of that nature, but you have to fall in love with the person in front of you and not with the person you see in your head. A lot of the times y'all be falling deep in love and just getting so enamored with somebody that you barely even know. You don't even know this person, but you're thinking about them all the time. You're fantasizing about them, X, Y, and Z. Whole T, this person is a completely different person than who you're painting them out to be, because you're looking at the situation in rose-colored glasses and wondering why you always continuously get played again and again. It's because you're falling in love with people's potential instead of their reality. It's okay to envision who a person could be, but not at the expense of your sanity. This goes into it a lot of different ways. Maybe it's also talking about you get with a person who doesn't have a lot of money, and you know, it's fine because you have belief in them and you believe that they're gonna go far in life and X, Y, and Z, but then you don't see the fact that they don't even believe in themselves. So it don't matter how much you believe in them, their financial situation ain't never gonna change until they decide to change. Falling in love with the idea of someone instead of reality. You fall in love with the idea of a person, you know, doing all this good stuff by you and being the perfect man for you, but in reality, they're not showing up. In reality, they've shown you again and again that they're not actually here for you, but you, the person who probably didn't have a father growing up, who had father issues growing up or mother issues growing up, or that ran in your family, you, that person who hasn't been healed, has a wounded heart, is trying to love that person and trying to chase after a person that quite frankly don't want you that much, so that you can prove to yourself maybe if you love them a little bit deeper, they'll actually stay. Baby, heal first. We don't gotta fall in love with unavailable people, and that's on period. When somebody shows you who they are, see them clearly. See the situation clearly, not what you want it to be. Don't be all Neptunian and in that fog, okay? In that dreamland. What are they actually doing? Okay, a lot of people will talk to you. They'll say a lot of talk. They'll say they love you. They say they'll care for you. They say that they will be there for you, X, Y, and Z. But what are their actions saying to you? Follow the actions. And that kind of goes into my third point, but following the action. I don't even be paying attention to what people say. I mean, obviously I pay attention. I take it in and I'm like, oh my God, that was so sweet. That was so kind. But I put way more stock into what the person does. How often is that person coming to see you? Are they only seeing you at night and not in the daytime? They say they care about you X, Y, and Z, but they're not putting in any effort. What are they actually doing? Don't focus on what somebody is saying, focus on what they're doing. And that's something I had to learn in my dating life. The next point, number 3, ignoring the red flags. I used to ignore the hell out of red flags because women, guess what? We all have intuition. We're all connected to that mother's intuition that's naturally within all of us. It's the divine feminine goddess that lives within all of us. We are receptive, feeling-based beings. That's just who we are. But something that happens is along the line, we get told to shh and to calm down because once again, we're not seeing reality. We're seeing what we want to see. But regardless, somebody could be doing something and you feel that something is off. There's a difference between a yellow flag and a red flag. If it's a yellow flag, you want to look at it. If it's a red flag, you want to really pay attention. Okay, the yellow flag, you keep an eye on it. You see it, you peep it, you keep an eye on it. All right, but the red flag, you know, too many of the red flags, you got to cut it off. You got to cut it off completely. But something that a lot of y'all do and wonder why y'all completely end up in these toxic, you know, player-like situations is because somebody could do a red flag. The spirit within you says something is off about this person, but instead of cutting them off, what do? You ignore it. And by ignoring that, you reject your intuition, you reject your own inner voice. And then you wonder why you feel crazy, because you literally abandoned yourself for another person. That's why a lot of y'all lose yourself in situations and relationships with other people, because you completely rejected your intuition. When the intuition speaks, listen. If something don't feel right about a person, pay attention. If you were being taught, don't go over here, don't go to this party, something is telling you don't go, don't go. That is your voice, that is your goddess within inside you trying to tell you something. Follow that. That will save you a whole lot of heartbreak and headache. Okay, babe? Number 4, someone breaking my trust and I did not leave them automatically. You know what happens when again and again and again someone continues to break your trust and you cry about it, you get all angry, you feel upset, you start to feel insecure, but you continue to stay in the relationship? That person learns that you are a person with no boundaries and no self-esteem, and they continue to break your heart and walk all over you because you're not going to do anything about it. That person is going to keep on using you and abusing you and can do whatever because you are going to continue entertaining it. That's something I had to learn. When somebody breaks my trust, all the second, third, fourth, fifth chances, I mean, y'all can do that. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, you the fool. When somebody breaks your trust or does something that is really breaking your boundaries on some kind of level, you gotta teach people how to treat you. You gotta call that ish out right from the jump. You gotta leave them. The man needs to know that if he did you dirty, you would not come back. Because the moment that he knows, for 9 times out of 10, that if he does something dirty and you don't leave him, he will do it again. Because you are not training a person to treat you right. You're training a person to manipulate the crap out of you instead. So when somebody breaks your trust or crosses your boundaries or does something inappropriate, leave. Make sure that person knows that you will not deal with it. That regardless, even if you were so emotionally involved and attached, you care about yourself enough that you will not put yourself through negative BS and toxicity because you love yourself and you respect yourself. That's what I had to learn. 5, not caring about the money. I know this is a little controversial, whatever. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. I'm speaking my truth, right? Throat chakra energy. Not caring about the money. I used to be the little baby princess that was like, I don't really care about money. We could do the whole 50-50. Let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. And guess what happened? I got finessed. I got finagled and swindled, baby, because my giving heart was giving, and the person took advantage. And then what happened was I started attracting men in my life who weren't romantic, who weren't financially secure. But let me tell you something. Financial security starts with your mind. It starts with your energy and your frequency. So when somebody has a broke mentality, they will have a broke bank account. And when somebody has a broke bank account, it means they currently have a broke mentality and energy. And as women, we suck things right up. That's why we have a vagina. It's an internal hole. We take on energies. So when you start sleeping with people who are not trying to better themselves, they don't have vision, they don't have abundant mindsets, you are going to find that in your life, you're going to start slowing down. You're not going to start attracting all the wealth. You're not going to start reaching your goals because you're dealing with people who are literally feeding off of your energy. And also, you're dealing with people who are going to basically catapult themselves, or y'all gonna all be laying down in your own mess and low vibration and broke energy. You don't have to entertain broke energy if you don't want to. You can be the level up chick, whatever the case is, but you don't have to. You don't have to have struggle love. You can decide that you can have wealth now. And once you do that, you will start attracting people who have their basic needs and securities met. And they have a certain level of generosity. When someone's living in broke mentality, they're not generous because they are living and operating from a space of lack. So they're not gonna treat you well. They're not gonna take you to dinner. They're not gonna do little cute, little nice things for you, even things that don't cost that much, because lack mindset. The money is important, and the relationship that somebody has with money is important, especially if you about to have babies with a person. Okay, y'all be having babies with people who don't even like have good mindsets about life. The people that you date, these are people as women, unfortunately, like, we can get pregnant. I wouldn't even say unfortunately, because it's a blessing. But as women, we have to be very selective about who we get pregnant with, because these are the people that we can create a soul tie with for the rest of our lives. Are these people stable? Do they have a vision for their future? Money is important. Talk about it. Stop making it all taboo and stuff like that. Know how somebody feels about it. Do they have an investment mindset? Are they trying to upgrade their life? Are they trying to be something in this life? That's important. That's important. And you don't gotta deal with Bill Gates, but deal with somebody who at least going to, you know, they're not struggling all the time. And yes, we will struggle in this life. No one's perfect. But if it's all the time and if it's been the same way for years, that man is not changing. And you can't change him until he decides to change for himself. Y'all gonna be another one of them people. Like, remember, your womb determines who gets to continue their seed and their family line. So if all of us on a collective level decide that we are not going to intermingle with any of these people who are not treating us on a certain level, they have no choice but to level up. The men have no choice but to level up and to step back into an energy of respecting us and loving us as we should, because they cannot exist without our energy. There would be no gods without the goddess. We are the portal of life. We are the creators of this life. They don't want you to know that. But hey, that's why I'm here. So be very careful who you decide to be intermingling and interjingling with, because those people you can have babies with and have contracts with, and honey, you better make sure they have good quality. They are of good quality, okay? 6, when he flaked, I chased. So there's this thing that sometimes a guy will do, and I believe it's like a subconscious test. Or like maybe you meet a guy, right? And you first start talking to him, and let's say he makes plans with you. And let's say that he doesn't really clearly make the plans. They're a little bit like up in the air or whatever the case is. And let's say like, oh yeah, we should hang out on Friday. Let's say he says we should hang out on Friday. And then Friday comes along, and then there's no message from him. There's crickets. Or maybe y'all did have plans, but then he flaked on those plans and you didn't hear any follow up on those plans that you created. A mistake that I used to do was text him and be like, hey, are we still on? Hey, I haven't heard from you. No, do not text this man. If he does not follow up on the plans, if he does not reach out to you, don't text him. Because the moment that you text him, the moment that you do that and you start getting all you are basically on the wrong side of things. Now you're on the chasing end, and then he loses respect for you. I'm trying to tell you, like, if you learn this, it's gonna help you. If a person ghosts, don't double text, triple text, ask where they are. If somebody leaves from your life, take it as a sign that they don't need to be there, okay? Take it as God trying to tell you, listen girl, a man's rejection is the goddess's protection, okay? Because when you get all on that energy of, hey, we were supposed to have plans, we were supposed to hang out, what happened, and you're still trying to talk to him, he's looking at you and he's like, oh, this girl's desperate. Even if he doesn't feel it consciously, he's doing that subconsciously. Let him reach out, let him make the plans. And if he doesn't, fill your time up with other stuff so you don't even worry about it. Date a couple other people so you're not even worried about that. It saves you a whole lot of mental stress and putting all of your eggs in one basket. No, don't do that. 7, letting someone love bomb me. So a love bomb is when somebody just comes into your life and they just drop this big old love in your life, but it doesn't feel genuine. So when things are happening way too quickly, and I've experienced this personally in my life with a man who was abusive, and I could notice the different signs of abuse, but once again, the little intuition thing, I started ignoring it. I just seen red flags. But one thing that he did was he love bombed me. He would give me all this affection. He claimed that he loved me so quickly. He was being so like forward moving. He wanted to move in with me within the first week or so, and like it felt like it was way too much, and so it felt good, but something felt like it was off. That is a man who's trying to warm you up so that he can abuse you and wrap you around his little finger. I let somebody love bomb me, and I was this close to getting sucked up into a very abusive relationship, physically abusive, but I left that situation. Don't let anybody love bomb you. If you are involved with somebody and they're saying they love you really quickly, they're doing a little too much too quickly, they're trying to move in with you, X, Y, and Z, it's a no. That person is abusive and they're trying to manipulate you. It's probably like a 9 times out of 10. That is a huge sign of an abuser. okay? And if you're in an abusive situation, leave, okay? If somebody's not treating you right, leave. You are worthy of more. You are worthy of a healthy relationship, and love does not look like abuse. I know you probably experienced that growing up in your childhood. You probably saw that, and it's in your subconscious. That is not what love is, and that's not what love looks like. Love is genuine. Love is deep. Love is like this protective force that man is going to try to give you. That man will honor you and respect you and love the goddess within you, and that man will sit there and he will never hurt you or harm you intentionally in any way. That man will show up for you and protect you. He will respect you. He will not put a finger on you. That is not love. If somebody's putting a finger on you, emotionally manipulative towards you, that is attachment. That is not love. And that is a very unhealthy attachment. 8, denying my own needs. I used to do this so much. Denying my own needs, sexually, in general, romance-wise, whatever the case is. Just being like, settling basically, feeling like, you know, it's no biggie. Not saying things like, hey bud, you know, my clit is actually up here and not down there, you know, like, and over again, I just wouldn't speak up. I wouldn't own my own desires and own my own needs. And this is something a lot of women deal with. A lot of women, we don't own our needs and own our desires because, like I said, we have a huge long history of suppression and suppressing ourselves and, you know, sacrificing ourselves on behalf of other people and giving so much from a point of depletion. And you cannot give anything if you're giving from an empty cup. You are allowed to have your own desires. You are allowed to desire things for yourself. You are worthy of being treated in the way that you want to be treated. And a lot of the times we silence our needs, we silence our wants, and we pretend like they don't exist, to the point where you wonder why you're feeling like you have an attitude all the time. You wonder why you don't feel satisfied. You wonder why you feel empty on the inside, because your sacral chakra is not activated, honey. You're not enjoying your life. You're not experiencing true pleasure. You keep on letting that man penetrate you even though you know he ain't doing it right. You keep on letting these people go around and not treat you in the way that you want to be treated. He's not taking you out. He's not doing anything romantic, and romance doesn't always gotta look like going out to eat. Sometimes it looks like a home cooked meal. Sometimes it looks like a massage and somebody's sensually massaging your body before they enter you. Sometimes it looks like writing you a little love letter or a little note saying that they thought about you, a text message, whatever the case is. Romance opens our hearts and entices us for sex, entices us for our needs, and it feeds our energy. And as women, we need that. It makes us feel good. So whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever your desires are, you are worthy of experiencing that. You don't gotta hold back. You don't gotta sacrifice everything for everybody. Yes, somebody's not gonna be able to give you everything because not everyone's a perfect human being. But regardless, your major needs and your major wants can be honored and can be experienced in this life. And if somebody's not treating you the way that you want to be treated, let the relationship go. Either work on it and own it within yourself and embody it within yourself, right? And then maybe bring it up to that person and say, hey, you know, I noticed this. I noticed that you haven't been doing this. You haven't been affectionate recently. Why? And having that conversation or whatever the case is. Or, hey, if he's not hitting it right in bed, letting him know instead of faking your orgasm. All that stuff. I talk about this deeper in my courses, Psychic Secrets of Seduction, but also Goddess of Worth. Oh my God, that is such a good course. Y'all, do the inner work, child. Goddess of Worth, the course I created, is so good. It's gonna help you do the inner work on yourself so that you can literally change yourself from the inside out, so that you can understand that your desires are valuable and that you are worthy. And once you experience feeling like you are worthy, that's when everybody and everything in front of you starts treating you as such. And either they're gonna match your energy and treat you as such, or they're gonna go. They can't exist in your life anymore because your energy is that influential when you feel worthy. Regardless, your desires and your needs, they are supposed to be met, and you're worthy of them being met. When you constantly sacrifice that, your sacral chakra is depleted and you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel fun. Like, everything is gonna feel boring and it's just not gonna feel like a good fit. So honor your desires. 9, not leaving fast enough. Not leaving fast enough. Even though I knew deep down inside that this was not the relationship for me and I wasn't supposed to be in this relationship, even if he didn't do anything that was bad, I just knew that this person wasn't for me. And instead of leaving and just like being a big girl and saying, you know, this is not what I'm into, I'm not feeling it anymore, I cowered out, and sometimes I would do things to bring in drama so that he would leave me. That didn't work out. It just ended up turning into this toxic mess back and forth until we both realized that we were not meant to be with each other. And that was the harsh truth that we didn't want to face that whole time, because we knew that it would still hurt because I still loved that person and he still loved me, but we were not the right fit for each other. And I knew that, but I didn't leave. If something doesn't feel right, leave. If you know you're not supposed to be with this person, but you kind of be with them anyway because you'd rather be with them instead of be alone, leave. It's way better to feel good within yourself and by yourself instead of constantly feeling like you're settling and that the situation that you're currently experiencing is not enough for you. Don't do that. Yes, you might hurt a person's feelings, but it's way better to be honest than to do things that you're not proud of. And number 10, confusing the bare minimum with love. Once again, this is kind of dealing with settling and stuff of that nature. But baby girl, Miss Lauren said it just fine. Baby girl, respect is just the minimum, okay? Respect is just the minimum. Respect is just the minimum. No man deserves your love, commitment, sex, affection if he does the bare minimum. Raise your bar, raise your standard. You don't gotta raise it all the way up here past where you even are, but raise it to where you wanna be and what your ideal life looks like on a realistic level. Respect is just the minimum. Loyalty is just the minimum. Okay, somebody showing up and being there for you is just the minimum. These things are non-negotiable. I don't know why those things are now rare in this society from a lot of people's perspective apparently, but no, that's the bare minimum. A person's supposed to be loyal to you. It's a committed relationship. Commitment is a bare minimum. Like somebody doing what they're supposed to do isn't like, oh my God, don't act like that. Because if you have energy that's like, oh my God, that's so interesting. Like this person is actually treating me right. Oh my God, like you're not used to it. Start getting used to the feeling of somebody treating you right and somebody showing up for you and somebody respecting you, and know that that's the bare minimum. That's like bare minimum for entry, okay? And then build on top of that with your needs coming right after, and then your wants coming after that, all right? Bare minimum, they meet your needs, and then they meet most of your wants. Because we're not gonna find a person that's gonna meet all of our wants, right? But most of your wants, and we're gonna have our non-negotiables, we're gonna have our negotiables. Get clear about that within yourself, okay? And that's also in the Goddess of Worth as well. Because if you have all this disarray and confusion in your brain, that's your frequency. So you're gonna attract situations that confuse you instead of attracting men who love you and show you that consistently and clearly, okay? So you wanna handle the dissonance and duplicities within your life and your being and understand that you're worthy of good things. And that's when you find love, because like I said before in the beginning of this video, everything in front of you is the current representation of your vibration. Everything in front of you is the current representation of your vibration. So if you are attracting people who you don't like, you need to understand and ask yourself, why am I a energetic match for these people? What is it about me? If you never ask yourself, what is it about me? You're always going to continue getting the same results again and again. Okay, until you do, because that's how this reality works. It's all mirrored, all right? So yeah, that's the video that was in my dreams last night. All right, and hopefully that helps somebody out there. Learn from my mistakes and you'll attract beautiful love, okay? And like I said, no one's perfect, but y'all need to raise y'all standards, because you cannot be dealing with these certain kind of relationships no longer. We cannot do this. We cannot keep allowing these people in our wombs, okay? It's like a continuation of this cycle of just like men not treating us how we want to be treated, and we complaining about it, but we're not doing anything about it. You gotta close your womb up to people who do not treat you a certain way. You have to clearly say, absolutely not. This is not happening. If this person don't treat me like this, it's no. And we all gotta do that so we can actually change the state of the dating scene right now, because a lot of people is out here struggling. But it starts with us, ladies. It really do. They don't want us to know that, but it really do. So yeah, that was that video. I'll talk to y'all soon. Check out my course, Psychic Secrets of Seduction, a beautiful course for magnetism. Woo, that course is so freaking powerful. People are making hella money. Okay, by tapping into that course's energy and their magnetic energy, people are attracting relationships and being seductive with their partners, okay? And also the goddess of worth. I would also recommend the goddess of worth down there for y'all as well, because that course is basically taking you on the inner journey, actually doing the inner work so that you don't gotta attract all this BS no longer. You done the work. So universe can now give you what you deserve and give you a better reflection, because your energy has changed and your energy has upgraded, and you have no choice but to attract that towards you once you fix your worthiness issues. So yeah, check out that course, check out both of them. I might even throw them in a bundle. Check down below in the description box. And just for watching this video, I'm gonna give y'all a discount code. The discount code for 15% off those courses is going to be Goddess15. Goddess15. Okay, plug that in and you'll get a special discount. But I'll talk to y'all soon. Follow me on Instagram at itsbabyj and holler at me in the comment section down below. Put down the number 222 because that is the number of partnership, and I'm feeling this energy. 222. Comment it down below and tell me how you feeling. Okay, bye.